Hey everyone, it's David at Finish Line Factory, and I'm here back with another car review. I actually haven't done a car review in a long time. It's been really hot lately, and I've actually been getting a lot of orders on finishlinefactory.com. You know, we sell fittings, hoses, stuff for race cars. So I haven't had the time to do a car review, other than, doing the usual weekend fun adventures. Let's say you want a roadster, you want something like a Miata, right? But you want something that's a little more luxury oriented, a little more comfort, a little more GT than a Miata, right? Maybe a little more power. What do you get? You could get a Mercedes SL, but I don't think those are really that sporty. They're kind of huge. You could get a Boxster, but those are kind of expensive. Well, there's an option. You could get Z3. So the Z3 is really cool. It's got a short wheelbase like a Miata. It's a bit heavier than a Miata, of course, because it's got tons of luxury features added to it. Like power seats, more power stuff. It's a bit heavier. There's more leg room. It's a pretty nice car. This one is, I believe, Hellrot, which is bright red in German, and it has a tan interior. This particular one is being sold by Autosport Group in Delray Beach. So if you need any luxury, sometimes exotic cars, classic cars, I'm going to put their information and a link to their website in the description below. This C3 has 60,000 miles. That's really low for this year. And this one's got the 2.3 liter engine, which I think is good for about 170 horsepower. There is a 2.8 liter engine somewhere out there, but this one's a 2.3. I floored it around. It's okay. It's not that fast, but this is a car more for like cruising around and being comfortable. This is, stuff like that. It does have the 4-speed automatic, which is a little sluggish, but it's got the kind of like a manual mode. Okay, so you know how modern cars, they have paddle shifters and stuff? This was kind of before paddle shifters, and instead of shifting up and down with paddles, you would shift with the stick. And you know how it goes PRND 321? 321, you would just select which gear you wanted. So it's not that responsive. This is a kind of a late 90s car, early 2000s car. It's not as responsive as like modern cars would be, but it's okay. This is a kind of a classic in a way. This car comes from that transition period where we're going from old school, more mechanically operated cars to new school, more electronic cars. So this kind of operates in that sort of in between. Let's take a look at the trunk. How do we open the trunk? Right there. There we go. It's decent. It's actually, I don't know, about the same trunk space as a Miata. Maybe a tiny bit more. It's got like this little thing here. Spare tire. Actually, you do not get a spare tire. You come with tools to change a tire. Maybe there's a tire and I don't know about it, but I don't see one. There's a battery. In the back has typical BMW function. But what I like here, I like this. So let me close the trunk. It's got this lip here. This is typical, German engineering. You got this lip here on the trunk handle. So you push this button, right, which is also your lock right there, and you lift up with one finger. It's kind of genius. Let's take a look at the trunk. We'll get to the interior in a second. Just chilling out here in the shade. So trunk's popped. Did I do it right? I don't think so. Oh, hello. Okay, so there's a latch right there. Yes. So this, I think, is the newer BMW M54 engine. There you go. BMW Hellrot. I was right on the color. So, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar or not, but the Z3 is based on the E36 architecture. So effectively, this is like a Roadster 318 Ti, where it's an E36 chassis up to the door, and then if you look at the suspension underneath, it's actually from an E30. It's got that semi-rear trailing arm suspension. So here, this is all very familiar to me. The radiator, the airbox, the power steering, the oil filter. This is all, but where it differs, you can tell I think the M52 didn't have this manifold. This is the M54's manifold. So this is kind of a little bit of a differentiating factor there. Not that any of that is relevant or important information whatsoever. This is just a fun car, great engine, you know, very robust. So let's pop this down. Let's get to the interior. All right, let's check out the interior. So, actually, I want to go back to that. So my E36, the door handle on a lot of E36s, just the way it's designed internally breaks. This is extremely crisp. Like my E36, I had to pull it and then pull it and then pull it and then it would open. This is as if it's brand new. All right, let's hop inside. Let's see what's going on here. Wow, 60,000 miles. I got the key right here. Right, that's the other key. Here it is, right here. So, typical E36 key, and this button actually does not lock and unlock the doors, but it's actually a light. It's a little LED in there, which I think is it's kind of cool. So you can illuminate and try to avoid scratching your paint as you're trying to put the key in. It's also mostly useless because the light isn't very bright. Steering wheel looks like it's out of an E46. Looks like they kind of upgraded the steering wheel. Nice big airbag there. You got your fuel, speed, RPMs, coolant temperature. This car has an aftermarket radio. You got your AC controls. And here's what I'm talking about. Let me see if I can actuate this and put the key in. You know, I'll give it a start. Here's a warm start. It's kind of quiet. So here's what I'm talking about. It's got this M mode here, which doesn't stand for the M mode as modern BMWs have, where they optimize the settings. This is actually much more automatic or manual. So when you put it in D, if you put it in automatic, and then you shift it out of D, you can actually freely, okay, there we go. You can actually sort of freely select these back and forth. So, there you go. I think it's kind of nifty. It's pretty interesting. I think it kind of helps make the driving dynamics a little more sporty, but to be honest, the transmission's a little slow. It's not like modern automatics. Got their inboard windows. This is actually something I really like about BMWs, these older BMWs, is that the window controls, everything is right here on the center console, and that kind of frees up the clutter on the door handle. So I think that's kind of cool. Let's see, cup holders, typical tiny E36 cup holders, which are kind of useless. You got a power top, which is kind of nice. I'm going to leave that closed. And glove box. So, not much. I guess I got plastic, wooden trim. Not much else to check out here on the Z3. So let's take it for a drive. Let me set up the GoPros. All right. So safety first. Seatbelt on. 60,000 miles. 60,848 miles on this beautiful Z3. So let's put it in drive. Let's take it off for a spin. Brakes on this are really sharp. So the engine's at the operating temperature. Oh, this car has DSC, has a dynamic stability control. That's pretty good. As opposed to previous cars where they had ASC, which is all season something or the other. Okay, so let's try this out. I'll put it in 1, and then we'll just give it a quick floor it. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. First gear, it feels pretty good, but it kind of falls on its face flat after that. Make a U-turn up here. Yeah, it's a little slow to shift. It'll stay in gear, but it'll take a good while to shift. Kind of downshift back to 1. No, I want to do it on its own. So you're not truly in control with this transmission. There we go, there's a shift. Yeah, the transmission tuning is really... Yeah, if you're gonna get one of these and you're not gonna just be cruising around town, I really recommend getting the manual. I think it would make it a lot more fun. Power is okay. I mean, it's only got 170 horsepower, but the way the power is delivered is decent. You know, even with the automatic, it's just between gears, shifting is just really, really slow. So, you know, personally, if I were to get one, if I wanted one just to have to collect, I mean, this would be a good car. But if this was a vehicle that I'm buying to have fun with, I don't think this would be the car for me. So yeah, that's my review. Thank you for watching. Be sure to check out Autosport Group in Delray Beach. And yeah, have a nice day. Thank you.